All right then.
Go for it.
So rolls. We need the Torburn roll. Got to beat a 4.
Is it going to be Voldret?
Oh,
There
of
you
course he
go.
beats a 4.
Always
All
is.
right, Aldreth, take it away.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm too old. Okay, so we started it by having our tow to the shore, and we had to figure out how we're going to park the boat because they only towed us so far. So we managed to somehow um, basically do a little Tokyo drift onto the shore, onto the beach, which surprisingly didn't attract any attention from guards. Um, we unloaded the stuff onto the beach, the cargo, the 6 cases, in record time, thanks to an amazing net 20. And then Torburn and Solothar went towards the customs to see if anyone could help move the loads. They saw like guards, brass bolts patrolling the bays. They were all in plate mail. Um, they ended up paying a tariff, the Phineas tariff, for the guards to basically sign us off on the loads. Then we managed to move the loads to the customs and get them into the city with the help of my little spooky servants. So we initially went to Phineas' workshop. It was closed, but Torben knew his favourite bar, and then the bouncer was causing us some trouble. And Torben uses his little pebble to find Phineas. So Phineas then comes to the door and tells his little ogre bodyguard to put down the box, put the boxes in the back, and then tells us all to go inside. And he has a little conversation with Torben outside about some job that went wrong in the past that this Torben doesn't know about because he's from the future. Complicated timelines. And then a discussion happens about a job that we need to pull off, and then we play a little game of rollies with a goblin called Scribbler. He has like weighted dice, so Torben makes his own little weighted dice out of rock salt, and we ended up winning the game to get the split 60-40 or 85-50 if they don't cooperate. I have loads of notes here. He then gives us information about the job that we need to do, and then we were going to meet tomorrow at the seaside of the docks to start the job. And then we basically all went to bed. I ended up reading my book again, and it says, "How many goblins does it take you to like Rob?" And I scribbled in 5 at the bottom because Scribbler made 5 little images of themselves, and then we just wake up the next day.
Very well. Anyone got anything they want to add? Or I think that was pretty concise.
I won a golden pocket watch from the Rollies.
Oh, that's what you
Did.
want.
Potentially a magic golden pocket watch.
Which I will have to verify via
Mhm.
detect magic.
Is that something you want to do before you go to bed, or
So,
before
let me
we?
give you
Sure.
5 reasons why you don't actually
Okay.
want to do that.
You could cast.
I
You
could
can
cast it
cast
as a ritual.
identify. Yeah,
I don't have
you
identify.
can. Oh, sorry. What are you casting?
Detect magic just to know if it's
Detect
magical or
magic.
not.
Okay.
Mhm.
You get a strong sense of conjuration and abjuration
Ooh,
from this item.
nice. Cool. I'll put magical in the parentheses of this new item. Okay. What hold on, I'll also write what it is. So of abjuration you said and conjuration?
Conjuration and abjuration, yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I'll do that and then go on to bed and all that.
All right. So, as dawn breaks, the sound of a bustling early activities awakes any of you who are light sleepers. As the heavy footfalls and clanking of machinery, as the labor force of this town is up early at the crack of dawn and beginning to open up the heavy rafters of nearby shops in this workshop district that you find yourself within. Though not the most comfortable night's sleep, it's sure enough been safe and sound for now. And any of you looking out any windows, just observing the general pitter patter of the commons, mostly gnomes, a fair few dwarves, the odd human, a few individuals who, in any other setting, would look to be up to no good, but you realize seem to just make the general populace here. They seem to fit in, where elsewhere they would stand out. Though wary of this, it would not be out of the ordinary if you wanted to be disclosing parts of your identity, wearing hooded garments, traveling unseen but yet out in the open. As we come to a small breakfast is included with your room's fee, though it is conjured food that is offered.
Well, we had
As
non-conjured food yesterday, so
you did.
fair enough.
As the bed and board that you're in is not the same establishment that you ventured to last night, but where you ended up at the end of the evening. I will say, who would have been the latest to rise from the slumber?
Well, if I could recall correctly from last session, we rose very late.
Mm-hmm.
We woke up to the sounds of a dwarven chorus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
From
what I had written.
Yeah, from the
the
bar
last-
already. That was already open.
Yeah.
Who would be last?
Probably me, being the old man.
So, the rest of you, assuming you've all made your way downstairs, will find yourselves in a open bar. Though the height of everything is very much established for that of halflings or gnomes, as you realize this is not just any old bar. This is not just any old dwarf bar or gnomish bar. This is a bar and onsen simultaneously. As you can see, the current patrons, the day drinking is obviously very welcome in this area for a certain select few of people, as the barefooted individuals are sat in benches, some of them waist deep, some knee deep, just dangling their feet into what looks to be warm, well maintained water, as a bath runs between the tables and chair benches that make up this dining area. Bit of a chorus is ringing out as a large, bustling atmosphere greets those of you who make their way down. This will be going on for an hour or so at this point, as we're at least at midday.
As a fair warning, I will have to leave for a couple of minutes a few times to help with some new furniture things.
Okay, no problem. And so, as Voldreth makes his way down the stairs.
Oh, you noisy bloody what's this? And I'll take a look around.
Make a perception check for me.
Oh, and that one.
And that one. Okay. Taking this in, you somewhat are surprised and taken aback, but sure enough, without much effort, you find the table where the rest of your company is sat. Salothar not partaking in conjured food. Torbrun neither. Though a plate with some kind of looking excuse of a sandwich that's been conjured up is sat waiting with an empty seat for you.
Can they
Do we have
conjure it?
the?
Can they make it prettier? I mean, you'd think they'd invest a lot in making it really appetizing, or maybe that just would just disappoint you more.
As
I don't
Ariel
think
says.
I don't think whoever thought this up. I don't think whoever thought this up actually considered the fact that, you know what, maybe a world without proper food deserves to end.
Do we have like the little river baths running through our seating area?
You do. So each of the locations in here where there's a table, to put your feet under the table to sit at the table would put your feet in warm water.
I'll slide my boots off, stick my stinky toes in there.
Good afternoon, old timer.
God. Oh, my feet haven't felt so good. Oh, this sandwich. Me taste that chicken. Oh, whatever.
Back
Still
in the
old,
day,
good.
this is usually where I
Oh,
came.
last time I checked, 300 and I don't remember.
Don't worry, I'll be dead by the time I'm even a quarter of that. So
Ah, your feet have turned into cheese by then.
you know what? I've spent my life in combat boots. I pity the person who has to eat that kind of cheese.
Well, I might know a few who might be interested.
I'm sure you'd make a fine meal out of it.
Remind me never to ask to meet your friends, Torbjorn.
Fine. You and your dominion.
At least we have proper beef. Or potatoes, or carrots, or apples, or grapes, you know.
But you never line it with cheddar. Or parmesan.
Who puts
That's
perfectly
'cause
good
it's in
cheese
the
on perfectly
shoes.
good apples?
No, you put the apples on the cheese.
That sounds even worse. And
This is why I'm
his
the cook.
His tone is deadpan serious, but you can see a wide smile beaming.
Anyway, we have until
So,
sunset before we're supposed to meet up with this scribbler.
how much do you trust that goblin employee of your friends?
Well, the goblin has no specific association with Phineas, so it's no real way of trusting it, but he did seem pretty keen on getting that 25% extra pay cut.
Well, far be it from me to be overly paranoid, but if I were in your employer's position and I had to hire a bunch of mercenaries nobody knows,
That
is it grapes?
Chow mein.
Knew it.
I would pay that goblin to get rid of us as soon as the job is done. That way, the goblin gets full pay. I get to tie up all of my loose ends at once.
I think Phineas is well aware that goblin poses no real threat to us. Not much a
Oh.
single
said it's
goblin can do.
one of him and 4 of us.
You're assuming he's going to be alone full time, and you're assuming we're going to come back to a welcoming tavern after this. You're assuming a lot.
First time in Park Hill, eh?
Look,
It may look like a pirate's cove here, but at least there's some honor among these thieves.
yeah, among them, we're not part of their clique. We don't
Oh.
get the benefit.
You forget that I used to work for Phineas for a couple of decades.
Well, fair enough, he might spare you. That doesn't solve the problem of the rest of us dying.
Well, I'll just sort of start twiddling my thumbs and just I'll just stay silent.
Look, I'm just saying, if it does happen, I want us to see it coming.
Fair enough. I'll make sure to keep an eye out on the goblin.
And your friend.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
So, what
On
do we
that
know?
note,
Do we?
Riggs, I would like to look around where we are,
Is,
see if... Yeah, I know this. But I want to see
Yeah,
if we
no.
are being... if we are being observed by anyone.
Make a Ooh. I'm gonna say with disadvantage, make a perception check for that specific.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking to find someone who's lollygagging, someone who's
11.
paying your group too much attention. With an 11, you're fairly confident. Actually, you tell me. That conversation, was it quiet and hushed around a table like this, or was it more bombastic and a bit more, we don't really care if anyone's been listening to us? How was it generally?
Slightly softer than a normal one-to-one conversation. Not whisper
I see.
quiet, but definitely not shouting about.
Fair enough. Then, in that environment that you find yourself in, with a couple of slightly tipsy day drinkers around you all, you're fairly convinced that the ruckus that is surrounding you and the general level of ambience in this room is quite hard for someone to pick out or pay attention to your conversation. That is, unless they were incredibly close, to which is where you focus your attention, and there doesn't seem to be anyone paying you any mind other than the barkeep who's keeping tabs on the whole room.
Right. So, anything we want to get done before we have to meet Scribbler? We have around 5. What would sunset time be at this time of year?
You've probably got the best part of 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that.
We'll have the afternoon to ourselves. Is there anything we want to check up on? Any
Yeah, the place we're
shops?
supposed to break into.
I want to try and get some fire making
Hmm.
supplies as a backup.
Oh, don't tell me.
The book doesn't lie.
I would not trust a word that book says.
Riggs, would I know of any sort of vantage point where you would be able to look down onto the docks?
Make a history roll with advantage.
History 17.
You would remember. Well, remember no, but perhaps you remember a thought you had that the mountainside of the what we would describe as a volcano
Mm-hmm.
does overlook the entire island as it's centered prominently in the middle of the island itself. And if you were to get up there and have a clear vantage point over, you would be able to comfortably see the entire layout of Port Kiln, the jungles below, the coastline, all the way out to sea in the horizon beyond. Whether you'd be able to make out an individual from that height, well, you'd probably just need some kind of spyglass or aid.
Yeah. Hmm.
You should buy a spyglass. It's such a Torbran item.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rix, would I know of a shop here that might sell trinkets such as spyglasses?
So Torbrun spends a couple of hours going shopping for a spyglass. Is there anything anyone else would like to go shopping for as we start the shopping of
Sure.
yourself?
Oh no.
So, finishing up lunch, you go out into the streets looking for somewhere that would be something of a spyglass. You come across a couple of. Actually, let's do this a little bit fun. Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation.
If you roll below a 10,
I did.
It takes you longer than expected.
Sure.
No.
So this is going to be most of your afternoon, okay? However, after turfing your way out, remembering back streets and cobblestone alleys and leaning to buildings, and after checking former locations that you're familiar with, seeing some shops no longer in business, also heading to places that you realize now are also not yet opened from your memory and experiences here.
Mhm.
However, you eventually come across what seems to be an old dilapidated building stuck onto the side of one of the far edges of town. And it's catches your eye because sticking out the top of it, you can just see this large protruding telescope pointed up towards the sky. And at first you sort of look inwards and you realize this is a kind of glass blower.
Mhm.
Going into the establishment, a quirky individual behind the counter, a halfling female, and she looks you up and down, exchanges a bit of light, polite conversation, though eventually cuts your rambling and says, "Yep, I think we've got a couple of things that might be up to scratch. What sort of price range are you looking for here?" And as you had the back and forth, she says, "Well, we can have a little bit of a spyglass, or we could have a large ship-like telescope," and point brings a few examples for you. Alternatively, we've got one of these arcane lenses, if you've got a bit more coin on you.
What would an arcane lens bring me?
So she explains a spyglass would run you about 50 gold, but this
Mhm.
is an incredibly ornate, wonderful item and is enchanted with the art of self-cleaning. She says it
Mhm.
comes as standard with all her products. If you want something more appropriate to a ship, we're looking at probably 300 to 400 gold, something a bit more of a long-term investment, but it would see over to the horizon as if you were but 50 feet away. The arcane lens, she comes out and says, "This is a small thing," and she unravels a small box, puts it on the table, opens it up, and you see this six-pointed, flat, what looks like a squashed pearl in its texture. And she holds it up with a firm glove, puts it to her eye, and squinches. You know, if you were to, I'll just put the camera. So if you were to put a magnifying glass into your eye and then hold on to it with the upper
Mhm.
part of your eye,
Like
she
a
does the same
monocle.
with the pearl. Yeah, pretty much, and completely obscures her left eye as she holds it up.
Mhm.
And after a moment or two, you watch as, with an absolute shock to you, the disgusting zoomed in reversal of her eye is just magnified up to like 200 times as she quickly pops it out and says, "Oh, put it in the wrong way," flips it around and slots it in. And it looks like the pearlescent coloration of this lens. It seems to ripple and shimmer, and then it goes completely translucent. And she says, "Here, have a look." She offers it out to you.
Oh, put it in front of my eye.
Okay. So in the time that it's
Mhm.
changed hands, it's gone back to pearlescent. You
Mhm.
just have this obscure, well, to you at that close with no light, it becomes just a black. You can't distinguish the pearlescent color. However, after a moment, she says, "You just need to think how far, how far you want to see. That's all you
I-
have to think."
Is this dynamic?
Well, as the DM explains, it takes it takes a bonus action to adjust the item.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Magnificent. How much would some beautiful artifact like this run me?
She's looking you up and down and says, I think you're someone who might probably be better suited as offering me something to trade, as well as a bit of coin.
I'm listening.
I'm in a bit of a debt with the cog. And well, you see, it's my husband, really. He's a bit of a gambler, and we're quite behind on payments. So, do you think that might be something you might be able to help out with?
Is it just a financial debt?
She slowly nods her head,
How much is it?
out of character.
How large is the debt?
I'd rather not say. It's fairly it's enough for them to put me out of business and retake this place.
I mean, I can see what I can do, but without knowing the scope of this debt, it's gonna be hard to leverage something. Is it possible to provide a ballpark?
She writes on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put that in the actual place.
Sure.
So she writes on a piece of paper, turns it to you, and then also says, they are listening on the paper.
Oh. I see.
However, if that's not the kind of thing that you could facilitate in, perhaps I mistook you as a bit of an information broker, but otherwise this would probably cost you that lens, upkeep. It's a single item, probably in the region of about 200, 250 gold.
How about this? I have some contacts with the cog. I'll see what I can do about this debt of yours. And if I can get it at least down a significant amount, at least the value of this arcane lens, I will trade that over. I will see what I can do to strip away as much as possible, though I cannot guarantee such an amount is completely within my realms of.
Make a persuasion roll.
Sure. Persuasion.
DC's 14.
6.
On a 6. She says, I can see you're quite taken by this. And I'll be honest, it's been collecting dust for some time. What can you offer in gold right now? And we'll say the rest can be negotiated.
Do you happen to have a compass as well? A regular one would do.
I could probably dust something out. You get the impression it's not going to be something she's crafted here in this store.
All right. I can make a down payment on the arcane lens. However, I would like to take it ahead of time. How about I give you 200 gold right now, and I'll see what I can do about your debt. And if I can clear at least double the 200 gold in debt, I get my down payment back.
One last persuasion roll with advantage.
Persuasion.
Load
16.
the DC. 16. She spits in her hand and offers it to shake.
All right. I will hand over 200 gold.
Okay. You can add one arcane lens to your inventory.
Ooh.
As she expresses to you with great concern, this item is incredibly fragile. It is stored in its own container, and its own container has lots and lots and lots of lining and padding. You get the impression it doesn't need such a large box, as it's only the size of sort of like,
I want to go.
a large monocle. But handle with care.
Okay.
And she takes
Da,
your
gata,
name.
kutia paskleidžia.
What
Eik
name do you
spėlio,
give her?
garantia.
I'll give her my real name, Torbjorn Rumbleshot.
Okay.
Name's Torbjorn
She takes it.
Rumbleshot.
Celia Workstop.
Who?
Celia
Celia
Workstop.
Workstop.
Okay. Meanwhile, is there anywhere anyone else or anything anyone else would like to? As that pretty much takes up most of Torbjorn's afternoon.
I want to see if anyone's selling parts of my walking stick.
You want to look for specific parts of the staff. Okay.
Yes.
I wouldn't show that to people, but okay, whatever. I'm not there.
Explain to
walking stick.
me what kind of shops you would be looking for.
Ones that sell black market items.
Okay. For the price of 10 gold, you could uncover the location of a informant on where a located shop is who deals with underhanded stuff like that. Do you
I could
pursue
do
that? Okay. You get dragged over to, not dragged, you get taken to a more copious looking part of the district. It's not too far from where Phineas's workshop is, but it's still down a side alley and then off another side alley, and you immediately are getting the impression of this place is not really one to stumble across on your own. And as you enter in, you are being watched by several people from the outside. As you go inside, there's no natural light to this building. It's all low lit candlelight. And there's a bell on the desk, a small countertop. As you look inside, there's a couple of shelves with a few items on, some kind of weaponry, some kind of closed containers. You see the odd kind of potion, a couple of gems and jewels. This seems to be a bit of an odds and ends shop. As you ring the counter bell, a furbold comes out from behind the curtain, almost filling this small shop in his size and dimensions. As he looks over the counter down to you. So what can I be treating you for, small one?
Oh, you see, I came across a new walking stick. It's missing some parts, you see. I'm wondering if you've got anything similar in stock.
A new walking stick, I see. What kind of item or substance would you like it to be made of? I may have a few.
Well, I was wondering if you got any rune-encrusted material like this.
You show him the staff.
I will show him part of it with the rest covered by my cloak.
Be right back. One
Okay.
moment.
Interesting. Would those be dwarf?
I don't know. Family heirloom, you see.
Quite. Well, I don't think I have anything of dwarven runic. However, I do have a few canes you might like. Let me see. As he turns and goes back behind the shop. A moment later, comes back out with a sort of sheathed item, puts it on the table, and rolls it over to you. This is about a 4-foot length, long, straight, well crafted. Seems to be a sheathed cane. It's black with a silver metallic point at the bottom, and it is a lightly. It could be painted. It could also be soft. It looks like it's got a sort of felt handle in a little bit of a red hue color.
Oh, this feels nice.
Yes, it's something I've had for a few years now. Its former owner left us a bit of a donation.
One of those donations.
Give him a wink.
Yes. One that I assume you will be looking to offer as well as payment for this.
Well, how about I give you some information?
And you see his body language change. Well, that would depend on the information. And something like this is rather valuable to me.
Would you like to know about the end of the world?
A doomsayer, I see.
Oh,
Unless you've
not
got a time
doomsday.
and a place.
About 4 years from now.
Mm, I see. And where does it all go down?
Everywhere. Varney fucks it all up.
Varney.
You know the guy from the Gold Keep? Lunatic. Lot of money.
Uh, sure.
They call him the Golden One or something. I don't know. I was drunk there.
I see. Okay. Have you had much to drink this morning?
Have a nut drop, just some shit sandwich.
Well, perhaps I could have a potion or two to take your mind off these things.
I'm staying off magical stuff. Bad for me liver, you know.
Okay. Well, you might be needing a few things, old timer, but this cane had set you back about 12 gold pieces.
Well, there's me money, friend.
I see. Is there anything you wish to perhaps barter or trade? He's looking now where he last saw that staff.
Well, this is a family heirloom. I've got a Feywild pickaxe. That's about it.
What makes it a Feywild? You seem to have caught his attention with this. What makes this a Feywild pickaxe? And don't just tell
Sir,
me you found it in the Fey.
apparently, we went to the Feywilds. I came out with this. I don't remember, but my companion said I was a lunatic and picked up the axe and mined some holes.
I see. So
Is
you
he
found a pickaxe in the Fey.
is he alone or are we with him?
I don't know. Well, you're not with him, Torun, so who else
Right,
is with
okay.
No, we're
Is anyone else?
not.
Okay.
I'll let him do this alone because otherwise I would just have talked him out of it.
Maybe I could offer you something for your tummy for the pickaxe.
My tummy's good. Just a crab sandwich.
Perhaps you could take a look around if there's anything else you might be interested in.
Well, I'm a little short on gold since your guy cost me 10. You're costing me 12. I'd say a good business day for you.
I see. Well, make sure the curtain doesn't catch you on the way out then. Thank you for your business.
Aye, you're very welcome. I'll see you again soon.
Hey.
So I'm gonna pull my two canes really close to me and my pickaxe as I walk out, like just hugging them.
Okay. Ariel and Salothar. Is there anything you would like to do shopping?
So roll
Honestly,
to shop.
I just want to get clothes, but like ethnic clothes that would represent like a more any medium-sized creatures, but specifically, like clothing that a tiefling might wear, clothing that a human might wear from a certain country. If this is a Port Royal type place, I imagine that they do have a wide selection of clothes.
No.
You can find there's at least 3 tailors on in Port in Port Hill. And they said Port
Mm.
Royal, and you put it in my mouth. Uh, um, I assume is Ariel a window shopper, sees all the items and then makes a decision, or are you a find the first one and go in?
Probably impulsive, yeah.
So you did a little bit of asking around. You were told there were 3 stores, and the nearest one is where you ended up going.
Okay,
Um, the Sapphire Emporium.
nice.
And as you head on in, it seems to be an older, dodgy little gnome. Seems to have a very fine crafted top hat. A small set of glasses rest on his nose with a long gold chain around his neck. And this individual, though he's incredibly small, is the most well put together individual you've seen all day in terms of attire.
Nice. Nice.
After a short exchange, unless you wish to roleplay it,
No, it's all good. Just speed through
after
it.
a short exchange, he offers his services and says, "Are you looking to pick something up today? Are you placing an order for a handcrafted? What are we talking?"
I will be back soon. So if you want to make something in the meantime, that would be fine. I will warn you though, I'm not incredibly rich. I have 28 gold to my name. I think, by the way, off game did we split the money previously?
I think I
I've assumed it's happened, but I don't know
I think I
if
at
it's
some
not been
point
mentioned.
got a bag of 200 gold, and I think I just spent that on the arcade lens.
You just kept it? Okay, so I have 28
Okay.
gold then.
Okay.
We can get it back though.
Like we've
So
adventured so much already and I have nothing to show for it.
so he says for 5 gold he could give you a lovely hat. For 25 gold he could probably get you a wonderful full setup with pair of shoes included.
That's good.
You get the strong
Something that
impression, though he's a very pleasant individual, he's definitely, part of Port Kiln. You've just said I've got this much gold. Well, surprisingly, they'll be looking to clean
yeah,
that
that's
much gold
exactly
from
how much you'll spend.
you.
Fair. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Specific
So
outfit.
you
I'm really looking to capture something of an ethnicity to it. Maybe if it looks like it was made I don't
and are
even
you still in
know.
your elven visage?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's looking a bit confused, like which ethnicity are we going for?
Um,
And this can be above table.
I know there are lots of humans, but I'm looking for humans from a particular land, something that just looks like it's made for them.
So we're talking like East Asian kind of geisha garments, or are we talking um I don't get the impression
Yeah,
you want
like
Victorian England.
no. So like specifically she's just looking for because like again off game she doesn't
Mhm.
change her clothes when she changes her appearance. She needs a variety of in her wardrobe
She needs a
to
wardrobe,
come
yes.
across.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what she's looking for. She's looking for a garment for a wardrobe basically. So I
Okay.
guess she could say like there are so many types of humans, by the way. I can just name one of the types of humans in
Hmm.
D&D and you can go off that, but I don't know where specifically they would come from in your world. Like I don't know if you
Yep.
figured out where all the humans come from, but we can just decide later for that, and I'll probably design it anyway, the actual
Sure.
outfit. But
Okay.
but for now, yeah, let's just say the 25 gold is enough, and I'll just give it to him to craft something for me, custom made that will fit me comfortably.
Okay.
I
So
do imagine
he
that this will count as a more luxurious item, though. I
yes,
hope.
yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get the impression this place is well put together. It's in a prominent part of the port itself, and you have confidence in this individual. As aristocratic as he could possibly be, he portrays that he fulfills you with the impression that he knows what he's talking about. So as you leave placing your order, he says it'll be 2 days. You'll be turning 2 days.
Okay.
And
Sounds
if
good.
I'm correct, we're currently on a Tuesday at this point, if I'm right. So, Silotha, as all
He
of your
would look
companions have
for
headed their own ways.
he would look for an armorer specifically, one that could help with my armor's noise level.
Are we talking through an enchant, or are we talking through some kind of padding?
Some kind of padding. He could
Okay.
definitely not afford an enchant.
You find a blacksmith. It's easy enough. You follow the smoke from where the town proper is. There are plenty of chimneys active, and you find yourself heading in the direction, following the smoke, leading to a furnace and a forge, and of course, a dwarf hammering out on an anvil. What seems to be like some fresh boulders. He greets you with a hearty hello. Morning.
Morning, Master Dwarf. May your hammer always be heavy.
I'd rather if it was lighter, to be honest.
He inclines his head respectfully. I'm looking for a way to essentially, help a mercenary's armor make less noise when I'm sneaking up on all the people I plan to murder.
Have you tried not wearing it?
Uh, yeah, I have a couple of times. I've got the cuts to show for it, so.
I see. So we're talking something. Trade away all that metal for leather?
Either that or some sort of padding under the chain to make it less noisy. Something to take off the edge off the noise.
I take it you're wearing a gambeson as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you'd have to lose something in order to replace that. Maybe I have a few things in stock that might be able to help out. So, above table, you have the option of downgrading your armor here by 1
Mm-hmm.
to no longer have disadvantage on stealth rolls if you
Okay.
choose to do this. But you are aesthetically removing the gambeson and substituting it with some just rough padding in various parts of the equipment.
Okay.
And this is probably going to be asked because he offers to do the service like immediately. It's just selling the equipment to you and a little bit of tailored fitting. He says, "Come back in 2 hours and he'll have it ready for you." But he quotes you about 30 gold.
Mm-hmm. So how much will it take me back if I plan to, come back at a later date so you can reverse it?
Probably cost you, depending on how damaged or the state of the item, then well, as I'm just reworking your gambeson and sewing in this new apparel, then we have to see. Probably just be paying for my time rather than materials.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'll hand you the 30 crowns, and I'll be coming back for you to fix this.
Make sure it's sales, not crowns. We don't do crowns here.
He looks through the pouch and tries to fish out more neutral currency than the one from the beginning.
It's a bit awkward, and you get the impression he's just sort of like, it's foreign tender, but it's still tender. Like disgruntledly accepts it. Well, if you need anything else, please.
Nothing so far. Nothing so far.
I see.
So let me just remove my gold.
Okay. So you might need to go into customs there to -1 AC, but you can lose the disadvantage on stealth rolls
Mm-hmm.
once you return and pick this up. But you can jump forward to the rest of the afternoon. Is there anything else? Well, Torbjorn and Salothar are sort of wrapped up here. Is there anything either of you two would be doing for the rest of the afternoon before you all reconvene late afternoon?
I'm going to be playing with
Sightsee.
my new stick. Just walking. Do I
Okay.
need to add it to my inventory for that one?
You do, yeah.
So did you just buy a walking stick?
You just bought a walking
It's
stick.
it's a sheathed cane with some felt handle. Very posh.
Very nice. You can do the
Cool.
Rockefeller dance.
I'm a close to the dwarf now.
Well, as you walk down, you hear the metallic click as the protective base of the cane that touches the floor has got a metallic cap on the end of it. So
That's so cool.
It's a noisy stick.
Before I head down, I would like to use the arcane lens at a vantage point to see if there's anything of interest that I can already scout out from the warehouse.
so from within the city, you could probably try and find like, well, in fact, actually, you probably know from your room that you hired last night
Mm-hmm.
that you no longer have claimant to. Because you guys only bought for one room one night, didn't you?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Okay. So if you wanted to reserve the rooms again, you realize one of those sides of the building definitely faces in the direction you're hoping for, and might have enough of a altitude for you to look over and see some of the see information with the arcane lens.
Sure, I'll make my way back to the tavern.
Okay.
As I enter, I will go to the. Well,
Just before, because the alternative would be to spend several hours climbing
Yeah.
to get the height you want. So
yeah, not happening. As I enter that, I will walk up to the desk and I will just ask. Apologies, sir. I think I might have left something in my room this morning. Would it be okay if I were to take a look?
sure. What number were you in?
I'll give him the number I was in.
Okay. And he takes a key and goes with you to the room.
It might be kind of private. Could you give me 5 minutes to look around?
Sure, but I'll be staying right outside.
I'll give him my rifle as insurance. If he wants to. I'll offer him my rifle. If you want, you can hang on to this, just if you don't trust me.
Okay. You close the door behind you as you go inside. He's just like looking at Avalanche, just like no idea what to do with this thing.
Alright, I'll take out the lens and I will put it in front of my eye and I will look towards the warehouse. And I will zoom into roughly, let's say like a door would be in frame. That sort of zoom level.
Okay. Make a perception check with advantage for me.
Perception. Net 20.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Oops.
So note with your arcane lens, all perception checks made with this item have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So long as you are not. So that's not a hey. It's advantage no matter what. There are certain things that will remove that. So if you were looking into darkness, you wouldn't have advantage looking into the darkness.
And only
right?
specifically into what I'm looking at.
in the direction you're heading, basically. You've now
Yeah.
gone from I'm looking for this one thing at probably long range disadvantage to it is advantage roll. Basically, that's what this item does. So you spend the next 5 minutes looking out at the warehouse. You see half a dozen different patrols of brass bolts making their way around the buildings, double backing, some strange crossing patterns, some standing on corners, some heading into the building, some coming back out. You can see there's an upper part of window leads into the roof. It's slightly ajar, just like an awning roof entrance point, but definitely a window, not a doorway. You pick up on a few other activities that sort of catch your eye. As you can see, there's a large set of crates that are in the process of being unloaded. You can see them being dropped off on some kind of low-rided cart that's pulled by a couple of what looked like to be donkeys or mules. You're not quite sure at this distance. Though, as you look in, you probably identify the donkeys. The cart itself is stationed towards sort of the far side of the port, and the cargo you can see as it's unloaded is just giant, what could be 8 feet by 6 feet wide boxes that are taking several teams of individuals to unload, and they are dragged into the warehouse, unfortunately, through a side door to which you can't see the entrance of from this angle. And you sort of watch over the 5 minutes, you see a couple of deliveries going in and out of this building before there's a knock on the door behind you. Did you find it?
I'm just checking the last spot here. It might be on it a bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that's it. I got it. I'll be out in a second.
All right, I've got somewhere to be. I'm just going to leave this up against the wall, but just head on out when you can, please.
All right, will do. On that note,
Yeah, right now.
I will stress you for another minute. Is there any open window or sort of ventilation thing of notice?
You can make one. Well, it's just not really stopped looking. Okay. With this in mind, make one more check with advantage. One more perception.
21.
At 21. You see the previously opened window in the very roof of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And above one of the doorways that you can see, like the side personnel doors, there is something that looks to be like some kind of rotating. Well, it's not moving, but you can see there's like a fan cover above the doorway itself.
Okay.
Everything else seems to be closed, or nothing's boarded up, but it's just above height from. If you were to walk down the side of the building, you would not be able to see in through any of the windows. It's clearly the windows are there to provide a light source. They are not there to provide functionality for people to look in.
Yes. All right. Cool. I will
Okay.
clean up, make my way out, grab Avalanche, and make my way down to the docks.
All right then. So is everyone reconvening at the docks? Pimp cane in hand?
Yep.
Indeed. So coming out, as you're just sort of looking at the docks, first thing you hear is you're sort of waiting for your compatriots. It's the tipping of this metal. As you turn Torbrun and see Valdreth walking up to you.
What in the bloody... Is your back that bad, old-timer?
I've got some sophistication now.
Is this
I've
the...
still got me old stick, don't you, Woody? I'm not that dumb. Oh, it's got a fancy one.
Well, I think the opinions on which one's the more fancy one will be quite divisive. But I'll agree,
On this one,
the new one looks a lot better.
it won't end the world if I snap it on my knee.
Isn't that the fun part, though?
Sloth is not around, is he? He's a bit of a pessimist at the minute.
No, but as you look around, you see Ariel fast approaching.
Oh, quick. Shh, shh.
I will start whistling.
You guys look weird. What's wrong?
Oh, feel the angle on this, Torben. Feel how smooth it is.
Are you wearing something else now, Ariel? Are you?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, speak of the devil.
Hmm? Where have you guys been?
Oh, is he walking up as well?
So Lothar sort of sneaks out of a corner from around the side of the building you guys are propped up to. Giving you
Oh,
he's
you
been there
weird!
a while.
Did you hear any of that, Lothar?
And you what?
Good.
Exactly. Look at me new cane.
I tap it on the building.
It's lovely. It's safer to walk with that. Yeah.
That's
Where's
the
the other thing?
That's to compensate
Yeah.
for the lack of functionality of
It's
his hammer.
in me. Where
Where's
did
the
I
other
put
thing?
it? Oh, it's here. Don't panic.
Maybe we should
Well,
get you a really long backpack so it can stay in your backpack out of sight.
Well, if you snap it in two, it'll take up less space.
Oh, great.
I'm not sure I want to do that.
Oh yeah, but you don't want to do anything, do you?
Only what's really necessary, come to think of it.
I guess not eating is necessary.
Well, sometimes.
So,
I don't want to encourage whoever came up with the conjured food to conjure up more.
oh, I couldn't agree more. What is the time now, Riggs?
And the sun's sort of on its slow descent into the sky. You reckon it's probably an hour or so away from hitting the horizon. So you spent most of the afternoon, and you're now into the evening.
Nice. When do we have to go to the thing?
We would meet with Scribbler when the bottom of the sun touches the horizon. So, seems about an hour.
Soon then.
In the meantime, I took the liberty of, I'll take out the arcane lens, buying myself a nice little, let's call it a gadget.
Aw. It looks cool. What does it do?
I'll put it in my eye and I will just demonstrate it. Look up on the volcano. What can you see?
A pretty mountain with a flat top?
And that little house, the furthest house you can see
What?
before the end of town.
I'll roll a perception, but I really suck at this. Yeah, look at that. I see everything.
You, a 3 with -2 for a 1.
Ariel can see like her immediate vicinity, and that is it. She probably needs glasses.
I was going to say, we're just going to make Ariel canonically short-sighted as far as going.
Maybe that makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, from here, I can see that's got a sign and it says the Bronze Kettle Bed and Breakfast.
Whoa. I don't even see it. But okay. That's cool.
I've used this lens. I'll keep the financials to myself. I won't disclose that.
Okay.
I've used this lens to take a peek at the warehouse earlier today.
Oh, cool.
There's some windows on the top that one of them might still be open, and there's above the doorways on the side of the building. There's some some sort of ventilation areas that we might be able to use. Maybe folded servants could go in. I might be able to toss Pebble in. There's a couple options that we could use to help us out tonight.
The more we know about what's inside, the better.
Folder, what was the furthest those little sentries of yours could go?
I think as far as I can see, with Jane Farm, an old man.
Well, that won't be very far then, would it?
No, I don't know if I would actually know how far they would go.
Sorry if you're waiting for a cue for me there. I didn't quite hear what you were talking about.
Now, if I don't know if I know how far my people would go.
It's,
My little unseen servants.
Oh, your unseen servants. It's their duration, and they would have a standard walk speed.
And the spell says 60 feet away, but I don't know if Boljet will know that.
That's isn't that a conjure? You can conjure it up to 60 feet away, or is it? Oh wait, no, sorry. It's once it gets to 60 feet, it just
you perform a
dissipates.
task that would move more than 60 feet away, they'd vanish.
Mm-hmm.
So that is.
There's one way to find out. Let's find out now. Rise, my little beauty.
How close to the
I summon him and I send him.
how close to
that
the warehouse can we get without actually entering the docks? You know, like staying outside of the docks.
You have to enter the docks to go into the area where the warehouses are.
Okay.
Basically, you would be going back through the customs barrier that is currently manned
Right. Yeah. Okay.
to go into the facilities of where the actual dockyard is, but the warehouses are before the dockyard.
Sure. Well, it's no use trying that out now. So are we just gonna wait here until this scribbler comes up?
Got any other options? Well, maybe not as close to the place. Where exactly did he say he'd meet us again?
At the entrance of the dock. There only is one
Oh.
entrance to the dock.
Might as well wait, keep an eye open.
Makes sense.
And also, pay attention to when he arrives. See if there's anybody else trailing him. From afar, potentially. He looks up, around. I could put a crossbowman there, and there, and there. Maybe a rifleman if I could afford it. Looks around. Almost no cover there, almost no cover there.
You otherwise just want a hole up in the alley over there? Just you?
What, don't you guys want to know all the ways in which you can get killed?
No.
Well, yeah. Possibly, but I don't expect them to do that right here in broad daylight. But if you're gonna
Why
sit
not?
in that alley, I think the goblin would be least suspicious of you being late, since he didn't like you anyway.
Well, do you want me to spot the flaws in that plan as well?
Well, I mean, worst thing that can happen is you go missing.
Yeah, well, I'd rather not.
If you just poke your head out of the alley, we will be able to see you.
Well, that's not going to be suspicious. It's like, it
Oh,
probably
you-
look like one of those characters in children's storybooks.
Oh, come on, have some imagination. Just look like you're taking a pee or something.
Oh, whatever. He actually goes and turns around and goes to the alley.
Quick, Folder, make another stick joke.
Oh, your stick's leaking water there, Ain. The sea's that way.
As the sun is rapidly approaching its final descent onto the horizon, you would see various sets of brass bolts clocking off for the night. Paying close attention to the part of the warehouse, or the warehouse in particular, the number that you're looking for, the third one on this multi-warehouse complex, you would see all the brass bolts would be leaving and clocking off. Others apparently running a double shift, starting on another warehouse building, joining their parameter. And the entry point of customs, where you'd have noticed previously there were 6 individuals standing guard. Over time, you realize now there's only one, with their feet on the desk, hands behind the head, rested, sat in the chair. You realize the time is now approaching as the sun touches the water. No brass bolts to be seen. The townsfolk have made their way back inside the port proper. Sorry, the port kiln proper. What do you all do?
I will wait for Scribbles to show up. Scribbler.
Okay. You wait 5 minutes. You wait 10 minutes. You realize there's an individual still sat at the customs office. No sign of Scribbler there.
Alright, what do we want to do? Scribbler's not going to show.
Lousy goblin.
I will wave over Lothar.
Mm-hmm. He's going to walk over.
Well, Scribbler might either be very late, or he's just fucked off.
And where does that leave us? Because it sounds of a hell of, if he did, it sounds a hell of a lot like our employer didn't keep up his end of the bargain.
Well, there's 2 options. One is we were fed bogus information by Scribbler. Intended to set us up. Or Scribbler is just a no-show for whatever reason.
Which of those two
Or-
does it?
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Ariel?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Which of those two seems more likely to you?
If Phineas wants to get something done, he'll put people on it who he thinks can get it done. So I don't see a reason.
Our deal is with Phineas, right?
Our dealer is
Not the
Phineas,
Scribbler.
and he provided Scribbler as someone with information, a broker of information, to be noted, but at least someone
Maybe if we do
recommended
the
by Phineas.
maybe if we do the task anyway without his help, we will get some extra money.
Oh yeah, we'll get the full cut, assuming the information that Scribbler provided us is accurate, which
I would
Based on
honestly
what you
doubt.
saw through your spyglass, is it?
well, according to Scribbler, at night there would only be 6 pairs of guards. around the warehouse. Whereas during the day there would be at least 20 plus, which, I mean, during the day that checks out. I have no idea what the night's going to be like. Anyway, there's also still the problem of customs, which we would have to go through. There's still one person there. We can either try sneaking past him, distracting him, persuade him, though that will mean he knows we went through.
Is there no other way?
Would I know of another way into the docks without going through customs?
No, not to you. It's a key point of the fact that they have got multiple ways of customs. You you would be talking making your way through the jungles, but then you would still have to come in through the city walls. So to get to where you're going, you don't know another way,
Okay.
unless you wish to just clamber over a wall.
Well, unless you want to climb without getting seen. Not really.
So we go in, and in case whoever we're about to rob wants information about any suspicious people walking through, somebody will be able to point their finger straight at us.
If that someone is noticing us, then yes. So we either sneak past him, or we take a more violent approach, which I would rather not.
I. Open fighting is always a roll of the dice.
You're basically describing D&D. Congratulations.
Meta pigeon, meta pigeon. Da, 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 da.
I will take.
So Lothar turns to the camera and says, "There's dead fam."
We need the CSI music with that line in that case.
Yeah.
Can we do pink? Can we go Pink Panther style?
Beating, beating,
Voodoo.
beating, beating, beating,
I don't know, wait a second.
beating.
So, open
Beating.
combat's always a roll of the dice.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Are you
the anime
Horatio
sheen.
Lothar?
Ah,
Are you Horatio Lothar or Sir Kane?
I will take out my arcane lens and I will take a quick gander at the customs office to see what the guard is doing. If he's just hanging out or if he's doing anything
You can
particular.
still see body language, boots on desk, arms behind head, sat back, unmoving.
Which way is he facing?
Towards the entrance. So the body, the individual would be looking at the entrance to this.
Right, so it's
So where
like
you'd have to walk past.
single. It's like a single doorway.
Yeah, it's basically
Okay.
the security guard at a single gateway, basically.
What, do we wait for him to take a leak?
Or we
Oh.
just go through just like that and risk getting pointed at. And then hope your
What
friend
about
can vouch for us.
a distraction?
Hmm.
I'm not burning the city down just so we can get ourselves into a warehouse.
I mean, I could put a smoke grenade down.
I didn't
Cutting up,
say anything about fire.
but you were about to.
Nope, I've got nothing to make a fire.
Good.
How about we just tell him the ship ran ashore, smugglers, and we head on in.
That would put our faces in his mind, though.
You can just tell them we're looking for a ship.
At this time of day?
Is there a proper time to look for a ship?
Are there still other people in the docks at this point?
Other than the roaming brass guards that you can see through some kind of like little torchlight that they've got, little lantern that they're carrying, variously scattered across the various warehouses now. No one just heading to and from now.
I mean, the docks are pretty much closed at this point. It's kind of suspicious if you just want to check out a ship at this time of day. While we are having this conversation, I would like to take a very good look at our at Port Kiln proper surroundings, so away from the docks, to see if I know if I can spot the goblin anywhere.
Investigation roll, please. Not investigation. Perception.
Some guidance.
And that's 20.
A natural 20.
A natural
Oh,
20.
never mind.
Though the light is now naturally gone, you feel well. Roll your guidance.
Slash roll 1d4. A 4.
Okay, a 30.
Wow, 30.
So, as expressed before, you are up against an arcane trickster rogue who, if they don't want to be seen, they have stupid rolls themselves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking around on a natural 20 to stress for a 30 total, you look around you, a clear, detailed sweep. Your target is nowhere to be seen. Though, as you're sort of looking now at this point with more detail, you realize there's a small pool underneath the feet of the lounging, reclining guard at the customs office.
A small pool of like liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I see. Like, I'm assuming you're using the arcane lens for this. It's like that's where you are able to pick this up.
Well, I mean, I wasn't looking at the customs entrance anyway, so I can basically just
But you were
disregard that.
pretty convinced looking elsewhere there was no sign of him.
Sure.
So with a nat 20, you do not see.
Okay. So this. Hmm. So what do we do about this customs guard? Just strolling into the docks at this time of day seems out of place enough to avoid any discretion that we might want to have.
We can distract him and sneak past. But then one of us is going to be stuck out here.
I can also put a smoke grenade down, confuse him, and just run past. But then we still have to struggle of then we're at the docks where more guards are who will possibly be
Smoke.
alerted.
Or we can just try and barter our way in.
Did we already know that Ariel was a shapeshifter?
You've heard it several times already that she's a
Yeah.
shapeshifter. And she says that she can change with disguise self. That's what she said to you guys.
Could we use Ariel to put up a disguise, distract, let us go past, and then
I considered that, but that would mean I'm out of the loop. I can't help you inside.
Is there any way we can get you inside as well?
Could Ariel become one of the guards and say she found us and is taking us inside for booking?
That's a nice idea. But I'd have to study them a little bit to see how they talk and what they look like.
We can also just knock the guard out.
So, okay, I know we're not playing with a grid, but is there like looking at the area, like I'm not
Mhm.
looking, Thorbrun is looking, but still, is there anybody who's doing like a patrol somewhere more out of the way that we could target when he's like out of sight from the others? You can tell that I played a lot of those tactical games, like
Sure. So on the
yeah,
Solid
when he's
Snake
like
map top down, the
yeah.
so from the port itself, there's several warehouses on this block. You're hitting the third
Mm-hmm.
one, which is on the right from where you were stood. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
entrance point to this port is a singular small building, this customs office. It's
Okay.
got effectively one sort of entrance point, cubbyhole, where you can see the guard sat in the chair. It has another building behind that where you get the impression that would be like a barracks or if you have any problems, you can step inside kind of thing. It's a smallish building, like a prefab of a couple of meters by a couple of meters, nothing massive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Far beyond that is the beginning of the walkways and what would be effectively the ship channels if you were to launch a ship, etc., and also the runway down to the harbor docks, the gangplanks themselves. So you have a good 100 to 200 feet distance between buildings on either side, and then you have another like 20 feet or so between buildings that are paired up on each side. From where you are, you get the impression with the cover of darkness, and there's only a small light in the sort of near the outside of the customs the customs gate. If you are moving unseen, you're unlikely to be seen, as none of the patrolling paths are leaving the buildings that they're walking around.
Hey.
I will say at this point, the group between you all would sort of realize, though it was much, much later into the night when you arrived previously, there was nobody at the customs office
The previous time we were there, you mean?
the previous night. Yeah.
Okay. So we can just wait until there are fewer guards.
That might be worth a
And also,
try.
it does seem like we can try to sneak under the cover of night to some degree.
I will just sort of shake my belly and my pen and everything on my background. Like, not very sneaky, is
Yeah,
it?
I know. We all have that problem. We all have that problem, but still, in the dark, it
well,
might just be noise.
on
We
that
can
note,
create more noise in another direction to
Lothar seems awfully
maneuver.
quiet today.
he equipped with the muffler.
Just thinking of the many ways whatever plan we come up with can go horribly wrong. Don't mind me. But yeah, I think leaving and coming back here at a later time and trying to sneak in at the cover of night is going to be our best approach. I mean, it's a bad approach, but it's the best one we've got.
Yeah.
Right, so what do we do in the meantime? Do we just I will keep an eye on the warehouse with my arcane lens to see if I can find any patterns in their patrolling.
Okay. How late do you guys wait?
Well, shipments were arriving at night, so we probably
You've been easily 20 to 30 minutes now since when Scribbler was since the original meeting time.
right. So it is dark dusk right now.
Yes. Natural light is now gone.
Right.
You have only got moonlight, and it's not a full moon tonight. So
Okay.
limited.
Well, it's as dark as it's gonna be.
Let's do it.
When we get close, I'll dim that light for us, so even less light.
I gotta say, in my head, it's a complete Desperados mission. Like I can picture the view tracks of the guards, how we are there, how do we move. I should throw perfume to distract them.
And I'll go
Was the
grab
thing
them.
that the girl
I'll
did.
go grab one of them and kill him in a bush.
Yeah, exactly. And if you kill them in a bush, the body just disappears. It sinks into the soil.
Yep. Rapid decay.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right, shall
I
we
mean-
Can't good
just...
do rapid decomposition.
Warcraft was one of your inspirations for this. Have you seen the corpses disappear in that game?
Yeah, it's 30 seconds after death. Looted.
I will skin them.
Oh god, no. Pulls out skinning mining pig.
All right,
So,
shall we
you
move
approach
close?
the customs office.
I would assume so, yes.
Okay. So,
when we get in
who is
30 feet,
leading?
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy on the light and just dim it.
Okay. The light dims.
I will, as we get closer, I will roll Pebble towards the guard as I cast Animate Pebble on it.
Pebble wakes up.
Is the guard making any sound? Is he asleep? Is he awake?
You listen. You hear no sound.
I will instruct Pebble to just sort of move close to the guard and just wait for a response.
Okay. Pebble walks in the direction of the guard. Clambers up onto the side of the booth that he's in. Looks back to
What
you
is a
for an
he?
instruction.
What is Pebble exactly?
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Okay.
Oh, he's clambered up the booth that the guard was in. I was referring to the guard as he.
No. I was just. You said it again. The rock is a he.
Okay. So
It.
as Pebble clambers up onto the front desk, now looking
Caesar,
back at you,
please.
as Pebble is now at the feet
It's okay.
that
You
are
can,
sat
you
there.
can give it a personality. It's animated after all. It makes sense. It's like a pet.
Yes,
Pet rock.
exactly. Pet Rock looks back at you, waiting for another instruction.
No response from the guard as Pebble enters his booth.
No, he's clambered up. He's stood on the table next to the feet. Nothing. Feet are still there.
No movement of the head.
You can't see the head, but no.
Right, so the guard is in a booth.
Mhm.
So if we were to crouch, could we sneak under like the window
Probably.
part of the booth?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Guard seems asleep.
Might as well.
All right. Stealth rolls for everyone who's going to go forward.
I will join him.
So this time with no disadvantage, and it's still garbage.
So we got a 9, a 5, a 14, and a 14. Amusingly, Salothar, you are rather disappointed in the craftsmanship that was befalling you that you invested in before, as you just immediately hear this. You stop, you look down, and you hear behind you the clunk, 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 clunk as the dwarfen rucksack is swaying as well. Pot and pan all to hear.
A cane dragging on the floor.
Oh, you got you drag the cane.
In case he asks us, the parade
As
is
you
only
walk
2 minutes
underneath,
behind.
as you walk underneath the booth, under the light, you hear a little cackle. Where do you think you're lot going? Oh, I thought you weren't coming. As you get from underneath the booth to your left, leaning up against the side of the building, is a cloaked, short individual. Two little red eyes staring right back at you.
Is it Scribbler?
You presume
By
so.
the voice, yeah.
What are you on your hands and knees?
Um,
I will just sort of like point towards the
lost a
guard.
coin.
I took
Lost
care of him
coin.
an hour ago. What are you playing at?
Oh, you killed him?
Well, duh.
That's gonna leave a trace.
Not on my blade. Cleaned it already.
I mean, goblins.
As you stand up, you look inside. There is just a mess of blood on the inside of this booth. And starters a pool on the table. Pebble is like anxiously staying away from it as possible.
Whoa.
Too
I
late,
reckon we
buddy.
got about
So
3
you-
hours before shift change. So let's get
Let's
moving.
Oh yeah.
Hell of a way to
I will.
light a fire under our feet.
Is there a? Can the booth window be closed?
You could certainly try. You find something to pull it down.
All
There's
right.
there's no like natural protector or curtain.
Yeah, I'll try to pull it down.
Okay. Yeah, there's no protector. There's
Okay.
no curtain. So what do you use to try and close it off?
Hmm. I assume the body's in clear sight when you look through the window.
Yeah, when you're right there.
I will go inside the booth. I will drag the body to the corner in such an angle that you really would have to pull your head through the window to see the body.
Okay.
Yeah, but what about the blood?
I will put.
Yeah,
the-
as you look inside, it looks like this is a starry night sky made by a goblin.
Right, so
Nice.
you look into the booth and you see blood, basically.
Yes.
Hmm.
You can make a medicine check if you really want to figure
No.
out the cause of death.
I was considering putting a snare down at the entrance door of that booth for the next shift, but it's not really gonna matter much then. I'll just leave it then.
Okay. So Scribbler looks over to you and says, "Well, what's the plan?"
There's a window open near the roof. If you can reach that, you could open the doors for us.
I could probably get in that way. Don't know if I could get to the front door from there.
Oh, it
Not
doesn't
been
have to
inside
be.
myself, you see.
Doesn't have to be the front door. There's a couple doors on the side.
I've never been in. I don't know where to be going.
Well, you know which direction, right? The side of the building.
There's lots of things in there. I get lost.
Hmm. Well, you seem to handle yourself pretty well when you get lost, and I will just point to the guard.
Oh, I'm not worried about who I find. I'm just saying I don't know how I'll let you in.
The door?
Oh, how are your picklocking skills then?
Yeah, pretty good.
I can just try and pick the door then.
Sure. Sure. So we're just gonna walk up to the front door and they're gonna lockpick it.
No,
With
not
all
the
these
front
guards.
door, the side door.
Right? What are you doing about the brass poles?
Which ones? The ones patrolling the building around?
Yeah. Obviously not the ones that have already left and gone to sleep, you know.
What are their? Would I have noticed their sort of timing pattern around the building?
There doesn't seem to be a fixed time to it when you were looking over that sort of like half hour, 40-minute window before you made any actions. But you just get the impression there's just a constant patrol around the building.
Oh, what do you decide, Goblin?
Right. You got the main sides of the share, so you're the brains. I'm just the brawn.
Lothar, got any ideas? I mean,
We'd need to case the building properly, see if there's some sort of a service entrance or exit
oh,
that isn't used.
I could also put down a grenade near one of the cargo crates that they might want to haul in later. Make it explode, cause a massive distraction. Though.
That's going to
You want to
distract.
start a fire?
No, an explosion. A loud noise.
Comes with fire.
That's only for the crude goblins.
I mean, I just want to make sure, like, how covert we're going here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The distraction won't be covert, but it will allow us to. Hopefully, the guards would all take notice and then move over, see what the situation is about. Would allow us to sneak in, assuming you can pick the door lock
Sure.
within a minute.
Okay. Well,
That-
you come up with a plan and let me know.
I think the inaction is killing us here. I think we really should just go for the most obvious,
I agree.
safe-ish solution. We
I
keep
agree.
talking about it, and it's not gonna get any better.
Which
The plan isn't
is.
gonna.
So, what is this safe approach that you want to take?
We go with the side door and pick the lock there, and try to clear it of.
Oh yeah, but
If there's a guard in the area, we just take him
Well,
out
let's go. Let's get moving.
non-lethally.
I will look Ariel up and down, and then I will sort of look over at my guns. Like,
Yeah, okay. I'm not responsible for what Scribbler did. If Scribbler wants to do it lethally, that's fine.
no, I'm
And
like, this gun is not
Lothar
silent.
pulls out a particularly large dagger and says, "Yeah, non-lethally."
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well, lead the way.
Lothar is actually going to try and lead them to the door, I suppose, as best as he can.
Is this you rolling for the lock picking?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Is this a random
As you
guard?
guys had this conversation,
It's taking off forever.
as you guys had this conversation. Sorry. So
Come on, we need to hear about it.
you walk on over as you start creeping on over. You realize, there's a pair of patrols, brass bolts that come round the side, facing you, candle outwards. They're deep in conversation. They turn to their right. They walk down the side of the building, running in front of you from your right to left. And I guess at the end of the building, they take another right and they begin walking. The conversation, out of sight, is in a language none of you picked up on. It wasn't common. And then you just hear this, "Hey, you! Hold it!" And you look around you. Scribble is nowhere to be seen. And as you see, go running Scooby-Doo style, across the front, a silhouette of a small goblin running as fast as it can, going back to the side. Two of the guards with a lantern running after him.
Well, that's our distraction then.
Yeah, let's all
Go.
go.
All right.
So this guy has a plus 16 to his stealth,
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh no!
and he rolled a natural one.
Oh man!
16. What are the fucking odds?
Ah.
I was like, well, 17 still beats one of their perceptions, but it's a natural one, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, for Scribbler, this is probably one of the rare
Ah.
times when he's actually had to run for it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Which direction is Scribbler running to?
He's run. So the guards came out from your right to left around the side of the building, and now they've just gone back the same way, chasing after Scribbler.
Okay, let's go.
Towards.
So you're now looking side on to this large warehouse,
Mhm.
and they are now on the right hand side of it. You have the option of going ahead to it and then the left, and then. But this is the rear and side of the building that you've not seen from your perception.
So he's
from your
going
stakeout.
towards the warehouse that we want to go to, or away from?
You've run around the warehouse, so he's running around the warehouse.
Right. Okay.
So you have the option of going the other way or chasing after him.
Well, he was our pick locker. So what do we do?
We
Are
try to
any
find
are
another
any
way
other
in.
guards taking notice of Scribbler?
You're hearing more raised voices as this is going on.
All right. Is there any door that we can currently see in the warehouse?
You tell me
Yeah.
which way are you heading? Straight on is just a flat wall to the side of you. You are going to have to go down the left or the right of it. Right is where Scribbler just ran with the guards. You tell me, and I'll tell you what you see.
Hmm.
Left or right?
Both are take your pick.
Might as well go left.
All right.
Okay, okay.
Left it is.
So as you head left,
Ah, yeah,
you
left.
see. So
Oh!
you see. He's not here. He's not. Hey, I think canonically Voldreth would definitely have said, "We go left."
Yeah, definitely.
So you get to the left, you walk down the side, and you can see there is a small silhouette of a cloaked figure with a picklock attempting to have a go at this side door.
And it's not Scribbler.
No, it looks like Scribbler.
Oh. Scribbler?
Hey, yeah.
Didn't you just make that distraction on the other side?
And the one on the roof, and the one over there, and the other one who should be lighting the fuse in a minute.
I see. Cool, let's go.
Yes, Voldreth canonically had a left or right and took the party left.
I went to get a drink.
Nice.
So that was his arcane trickster duplicate thing.
Yes.
Alright. I will wait for him to pick the lock.
Okay. Fortunately, with his lockpicking skills, you just hear clink, 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 clink as the door opens. He doesn't open it very far before he instinctively goes in, takes a small, long, hooked fingernail, runs it up the inside, all the way around. There you are. Looks over his shoulder back at you. Any of you got a bag or something?
A bag.
Yeah,
I'll have a little pouch and I'll hand one of the pouches.
something to muffle something while it breaks. There's an alarm cord here. It's gonna make a loud noise. I need to shut it up.
Foldred,
bedroll?
silence.
Yeah, that too.
I've got you.
And I cast silence.
Okay. So Scribbler then continues to talk at you, but you can't hear anything he says.
I will just sort of knock on the door.
You don't hear the ass sound. He then pulls off, detaches from the wall, some kind of like weird metallic object. There's just a light that is just emitting a red flashing pulse. And he hands it to you. Just says, gives you the impression to beat this thing.
Is it metal?
It looks like it's part metal. It looks like a metallic contraption. It's an alarm box, basically.
I will point a Volra.
I look back at him because I'm busy channeling this. I just do a gun in remote.
I will point at his pickaxe on his back.
We're
Focusing
playing
on
charades.
the alarm.
At this point, it's just like, whatever. Rolls his eyes, passes you the thing, and just walks inside.
I will just grab Volder's pickaxe off his back and I will just hammer on it.
He doesn't have the pickaxe anymore, does he?
Yeah, I've
he
got it
did.
still.
He didn't trade it in.
Ah,
Yeah.
Tried to make him trade it in.
oh,
He
okay.
didn't.
Okay.
So you destroy this pickaxe. Not this pickaxe. With the pickaxe, you destroy this metallic box. It takes a few hits.
I will take it
When you
inside with
finished-
me.
So as you bring it in, you stand on the inside, and the door closes behind you. And Scribbler's there, and you just watch at the beginning, backside, and he's reverse locking the door. Turns
But
to
that
you,
was
starts
extremely
talking again.
efficient.
What is the radius on
Silence.
silence? Because you can't move it with you, right? It's just a fixed location.
No, it's on that location.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fixed 20 yards, I believe.
Okay.
What is the duration
So-
on
Just
that?
leave the box there.
Yeah, that's why. So I will just 20 feet. I will. Is there room to walk outside of that inside?
I
the
can't
inside.
talk while doing it, while doing the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
He's concentrating.
Is
Up to
there
10 minutes.
is there space inside to walk outside of the silence without?
So
Getting
you
inside.
find yourself in a narrow corridor. You can see at the end of this corridor there is a doorway that seems to lead into a larger building. It's got a bit of a window frame. You can see moonlight coming through and illuminating what seems to be the main proper part of this warehouse. But you have 2 doors on the left, 2 doors on the right. And you can see a hatch in the ceiling partway down this corridor. You have 6 doors.
Right. So one in the end.
1 in the end, 1 in the roof, 2 left, 2 right.
I'm a little confused. Is there like a building inside of the building?
So you've gone into a bit of an open entrance foyer, like a couple of feet, and then you turn
Oh,
onto
okay.
this hallway, which is just 2 rooms left, 2
Ah.
rooms right, long door at the
Okay,
end.
okay. Yeah. Can you do that again? Open the door?
We'll say you move past the zone of silence to
Yeah.
ask this quick conversation. Scribbler, like,
Yeah.
I think any minute.
What are we waiting for?
Never mind. Moving on. We need a new distraction. My just hear a large explosion go off in the background from outside.
I think that was your
Oh.
distraction.
Oh, we need to move.
Yeah.
We need to move.
What the
I-
shiny one said.
I will grab Scribbler, and I will go to the first door on the left, and I will like very slightly open it so that. Did I say Scribbler? I meant Pebble.
Okay.
It's alright.
Oh, good. Get in there! I will just roll Pebble very faintly into the room as I cast Animate Pebble. I'll just
Mhm.
open the door slightly, put him in, and just let him walk around, see if there's any response.
You just hear the pitter patter of Pebbles' feet. I don't know if my mic's actually picking that up or not.
I will then, if there's no, I want to say human, if there's no humanoid response, I will talk him back and I will go to the first door on the right.
It's locked.
Okay. I will wave over Scribble while I go to the second door on the right.
Okay, that's also locked.
The second door on the left.
That's also open.
I will put Pebble in again.
Pebble animates. We'll say for now, do you think you have like a constant subconscious awareness of Pebble being active? How do we want to thematically freeze this? Because whenever you have like a conjured familiar, which is effectively where we've based this off, you are aware when they despawn.
It is concentration, so the some connection would sever. Yes.
Okay. You roll him in, you animate him, and he immediately severs. The door slams closed.
We have contact.
Can we open the door and see what it was? I feel
Nope.
very. No. Okay.
Scribbler's working on that lockpick that you sent him in.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hard to do something against something you can't see, that you don't know anything about.
This would have been a good moment to have a barbarian.
Yes.
Got it. Opens the door.
Scribble.
As he does, in this hallway, in a single file, we've got so far Torbran at the beginning, the furthest into the hallway in this corridor. At the second door, basically, where you just put Pebble into on the left. We have Scribbler on the nearest doorway on the right. Is anyone going to be between them, or are you all just looking down this hallway at both those two companions?
Lothar would be behind Torbran, or as close to
Okay.
Torbran as he can.
Okay. There'll be room for one more person there.
I'd
as
be
well.
looking at the book, being that's the expected fire.
Okay. And Ariel, would you be with Torbran or behind Scribbler? So Scribbler in front of you or
Torbran.
behind you?
I no, behind Scribbler. That's okay.
Okay.
I'm
So
looking forward
Scribbler's in front
to
of you.
him opening the door so I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious. Basically, she's curious right now.
So Ariel's the only one that sees this. As the door opens, you watch as a blade jettisons out at immense speed, taking the goblin's head clean off his shoulders.
Oh my god! Really? Like this? Panic. She's not gonna yell
Head
very
just
loud,
lands
but
on the floor.
she's just gonna. She's like very shocked, and she's like, "Guys, what do we do now?"
As you say that, stepping into the hallway between all of you, or Boldreth and Ariel on one side, Torbran, Salothar on the other, is a mechanical-looking construct. With one arm, you can see a rotating, spinning razor with fresh scattering of green ichor blood all over the blade. And on the other, you can see a large shield. The whole item seems to be this dark brass painted. Could be copper, could be brass. It's metallic, definitely. And as it rolls out, it's on a cylindrical body as it rolls forward into the hallway, and it looks down at the corpse, or what's left of Scribbler, as it then begins to carve again into the corpse with the spinning blades, splitting his torso in half.
I try
And
to
you
get the
also roll
hell out of
initiative,
there. Yeah, running with the desire to run away.
please. Now, before we actually do this, I need to have a quick time check here because we are quite late. How long do we have? Do we have enough time for this combat, or are we stopping there? That's my question.
Not on my end, sadly.
Okay.
Okay, then let's do it next time.
Do you want the initiatives now?
You can roll it now because
Nah.
they'll stay in the chat, so
Uh,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you
okay.
gotta click your token first before you click it, by the
I see.
way. Yeah, I didn't do that the first time. Can I roll again or should I?
Sure, do it. Yep.
Okay. It's almost the same.
Okay. So Lothar, roll is
I'm
please.
trying to figure it out. Where is it? There it is.
All right. So we have in order Voldreth, followed by Ariel, which makes sense as you both have just witnessed this carnage. As turning around, acting at the same time, we have Torbjorn and Sir Lothar afterwards. And so, you can pause the recording there. I think that wraps up tonight's session.